Happy Three Kings Day. I'm pleased to welcome the committee members and guests to the Committee on Student Affairs and Special Programs. I am Carol Robles Roman, and I am the new chair. And also thank you to Chairman Schmidt for this appointment. Everyone should have access to the iPad and the agenda and the supporting documents for the meeting. There are 8 copies of the agenda and supporting documents on the table if you do not want the paperless access at this time. There is going to be 1 action item, 1 information item, and 3 student disciplinary appeals before the committee this afternoon. The first action item will be approval of meeting minutes.
Madam Chair, may I make an announcement?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, for those of you who don't know, the pantry of the Board of Trustees office is at the end of this hallway, elevator hallway. The door is open and food is being served.
Nothing is more important than
Trustee
that.
DiMartino.
Read out.
Let the minutes reflect.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Lori. So our first action item will be approval of our meeting minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of June 3, 2013?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The minutes are approved. Opposed? The minutes are approved. We have 1 information item this afternoon. Vice Chancellor Frank Sanchez will now address the committee.
Great, thank you and welcome, Trustee Robles Roman. To start my report, this past week, as many of you know, the city celebrated the inauguration of Bill de Blasio as our new mayor. As part of the celebration, though, one of our students, Lisette Ortiz from Medgar Evers, was called on to introduce our 42nd President of the United States, William Jefferson Clinton. I just want to quickly congratulate Lisette and thank her for being such a tremendous ambassador for CUNY and for the city. The Central Office of Student Affairs has initiated a broad assessment of Greek life on CUNY campuses. This effort will coordinate an inventory of organizations and membership, as well as examine hazing policies, governance, trainings, and procedures as it's related to fraternities and sororities across the university. This past November, Typhoon Haiyan devastated the Philippines and deeply affected the CUNY Filipino community. In response, Interim Chancellor Kelly charged the Central Office of Student Affairs to coordinate relief efforts. At the November 21st meeting, Deputy Consul General of the Philippines, Zaldi Batron, joined our campus liaisons to discuss how to best support the Filipino community abroad and locally. Campuses are actively generating resources to support the stricken country. This past year, CUNY initiated a request for proposals to update and provide a better quality student health insurance program. As a result, United Healthcare successfully received the contract providing a 43% reduction in expenses to students for insurance and superior benefits to students when compared to the previous plan. In October, Interim Chancellor Kelly announced the creation of the Council of Presidents Veteran Affairs Committee, which my office will staff. I've spoken with the chair of the committee, President Mitch Wallerstein of Baruch College, and we are currently planning our first committee meeting this month. I'm also happy to announce that we have selected a permanent director of Veteran Affairs, Ms. Lisa Beatha. Ms. Beatha is a veteran of the U.S. Army and has worked with CUNY for over 15 years in records and enrollment management areas. In response to feedback from student leaders and from our CUNY Vice Presidents for Student Affairs, the Central Office of Student Affairs recently launched a new website for homeless student resources, services, and support. This site is intended to provide information to service providers, including all staff and faculty, so they can provide this critical information to students who can benefit. We are finalizing a memorandum of understanding with the Consul General Ambassador of Mexico, Sandra Fuentes Beren. The intent of this MOU is to encourage collaboration and partnerships with a focus around education. This fall, the CUNY Athletic Conference launched its Student First Rewards program. This program incentivizes students to attend athletic events and support their college teams. This past fall, a $200 gift card, a $500 gift card, a couple of laptops, iPads, and tuition for a year were awarded to students who attended the most events. I would like to thank former chairperson Kathleen Pasili for her dedication to this committee, as well as her recent efforts to establish a series of financial literacy videos supporting students who are making critical financial decisions. These videos will be made available on the Central Office of Student Affairs website and will prove to be tremendous resources and a guide on financial decision-making for our students. And finally, next week I'll be joining our commissioner of the CUNY Athletic Conference, Zach Ivkovich, and others at the 2014 NCAA National Convention in San Diego. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Any comments? I have one quick question. You spoke on the work that the CUNY is doing on the hazing issue and the committee.
Yes.
Is there any next steps or timeline that the Board of Trustees should be aware of, or will we be presented with anything in the coming months?
Yes, right now we are solidifying work with KPMG to do an external assessment of our policies and compliance related to this policy. I think that's probably the most important thing we need to look at, get an outside person to look at what we're doing, and I think more importantly what we're doing or how we can do things better. In the meantime, we've taken several steps. Within days after this event, I met with all the vice presidents of student affairs, and we have 6 campuses that currently have active Greek life on their campuses. This spring, in fact, right at the beginning of the spring, all of our campuses that have active Greek life organizations will be providing specific training related to anti-hazing, and we'll be asking all members to sign an anti-hazing agreement. And so that is in process right now. We'll also be doing a broad inventory just to get a better sense of all the different organizations across CUNY, the mixture of fraternities and sororities, and we know we even have some co-ed organizations, just to get a better sense of what our Greek life looks like across the university.
Thank you, and thank you for your report.
I would like to make it. I just want to thank you, Dr. Sanchez. I'm just working hard day in and out with University Student Senate and all the student governments just to make sure that students are served well. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item, we will be going into executive session. The Committee on Student Affairs and Special Programs will now go into exec session to consider student disciplinary appeals. Because the college's disciplinary hearings in these cases were not open to the public, this session will be closed to the public as well. So may I make a motion to go into executive
Can you
session?
please?
Second.
The committee now moves into executive session.
Why don't you just wait?